When I hear most people talk about growth mindset, I see them missing three key steps. Carol Dweck popularized growth mindset as this concept that she researched that shows that there are two key frameworks in which people think often, which is fixed mindset, things can't change, and growth mindset, the ability that things can change. Inside of that, there's a little bit more nuance that a lot of people are missing, because it's not always so simple to say, I believe things can change. If that were true, I don't think I would have as much of a need to do my job. One of the specialties that I do as a career and purpose coach is helping people to change their mindsets so that they understand that where they are now is not where they have to stay, and I can help them find a path to where they want to grow. Let's look at the chart. This chart has 4 steps that are progressive growth models in which we can grow into the growth zone. But there are these important steps that we have to understand that are a normal part of getting there. It's really easy for a lot of people to become way too hard on themselves when they don't understand why they can't just turn it on. There's a reason for this. Our mind doesn't like change. No matter how much changes around us, no matter how much we know cells themselves change within us, we have a harder time accepting change. I once heard the phrase that said, the only people who like change are babies with a wet diaper. It makes sense. The mind would rather stick to what it knows instead of putting more energy and effort into something new, learning, and growing. It's usually not very comfortable, and our minds tell us that we should just stick to what we know. On the extreme end, we have addicts who compulsively act out of this addiction almost in a way that is out of their control. On the other end is most of us who just procrastinate simply because we don't want to do something. And that's normal, it's human. But if you are serious about growing and developing your life into taking accountability, taking ownership of your life, these are steps you are going to have to go through. And I have to warn you, it's not going to be comfortable. By its very nature, it will challenge you, and that is going to push you to new places. Zone 1 is the comfort zone. This is super familiar for all of us. We know what it feels like. It's cozy, it's comfortable. We like to be here. We don't have to put too much effort into maintaining the cycles and the routines that we've developed over time. We know what it's like. There's nothing new here. Once you have been inspired or you have become decided, this is the place where you have one of the biggest leaps. You have to make the decision that you want to do something new or make a change. This is going to require all of your cognitive effort to say, I choose this. The minute you choose that, you enter into this new zone called the fear zone. Inside of the fear zone, we start to hear all those little voices in our head that tell us, are you sure you want to try this? Why don't we go back to what's comfortable? Is this worth it? You're not good at this. Why try it? I believe this is why so many people don't try new hobbies today. We have this expectation that we should just be automatically amazing at it. But the thing is, no one gets there automatically. It requires a lot of growth and intentionality because you're going to start to feel this fear. And depending on your personality and your comfort, even with fear itself, you may feel this for longer than other people. For some people, this may be a moment of self-doubt. It may be a brief moment of focusing on a new thought, but you are going to have to be brave enough to go through the entire change of what it means to be a brave person that encounters the fear zone. Those excuses, the lack of confidence, it's normal. This is part of growing. If you let them win, you are never going to go past this zone, and the growth mindset will elude you. Zone 3 is the learning zone. Once you've overcome, at least as much as you can, the moments of doubt and questions, it's okay. Now you can dive deep into learning. You're opening up the mode of growth. Growth requires investment of time and energy. So as you go into it, you're going to be able to expand your horizons, learn new things, because now you are open to the idea that you didn't have it before. This is a simple thing to say, but incredibly hard to live out and practice. Most people would rather stick to the mindset of being okay with what they know and what they've experienced. Once you have switched more into this growth mindset, learning almost becomes fun. if not a true joy. And my hope for you is that as you're learning and developing this new skill set, whether it's because you want to learn a new role for a job, you want to try something new, or explore a new opportunity in life, learning is going to be a gift in itself for you. This is something I hope you can learn as a skill set, because the more we learn as people, the better we develop ourselves into the fullness of a person we can be, and more into a life of flourishing. Then you can get into the growth zone. The growth zone is where you're actually flourishing through the development of your life. Once you have embraced the changes, you're open to learning and you're growing. This is truly the only space where you can confidently find purpose. A lot of people try to find the purpose in their life without getting past the fear zone. And unfortunately, they will always limit the purpose that they could live based upon the fears that dictate their life. This is really hard. I have worked with many people, and I have had many areas in my own life where I've experienced these roadblocks of trying something new constantly, but yet it still becomes a big hurdle that almost feels like an impediment. That mindset is really the only thing that's holding us back. It feels almost too easy to say, I can make the decision to try something new and do it. But it really is almost that easy. The point that most people get stuck on is taking action. Making a decision, even having dreams, those come free. It takes the effort to put in to develop the true mindset of growth. I think we as a society are not harnessing this enough. In fact, many of our habits of shopping, of lounging, of leisure, anything that we do outside of work are actually increasingly being oriented to not putting in effort. So that's also translating it into work, where we're often looking for the minimal effort we can put in. Sometimes we try to justify it by saying, well, the less effort I can put into this, the less money it costs my business or my employer. The thing is that life isn't just about calculatable value in the terms of money. Value leads us to a whole set of new types of wealth. And one of the most unique forms of wealth is growth through learning. The more we can distribute this type of mindset into our friends and families, and especially within ourselves, the more we're going to reap the benefits. The more you're going to try, the more you're going to be brave enough to have confidence to try new things, the more common this becomes. Now, whenever you hear somebody talk about growth mindset, I hope you take this into account, in that sure, it's easy to try to make this dichotomy of growth versus fixed, but in reality, we're human beings. We all have tendencies to want to stick to fixed as much as possible. It's the easy way. But the minute you have decided to go deeper and you want to take on this lifestyle of a growth mindset, I'm excited for you. I think a whole new world awaits you. In fact, you have yet to dream the biggest dreams that are there because your vision was so limited before then. My name is Cristóbal Almanza, and I am a career and purpose coach. I wish you well.